Investors are buying up real estate in record numbers. Hey, everybody, my name is JJ. You're watching Bull Boom Bear Bust. It's Thursday, July 29th, 2021. A topic that we've covered many times over the years here on this broadcast. Now we need to ask the question and answer the question, why are a record number of investors now entering the real estate market? You would think with homes at such elevated prices, investors would be very cautious about purchasing homes at these prices. Well, not so fast, because there's something called a vicious circle that we're going to talk about when it comes to prices and how investors help themselves by scooping up real estate even at today's prices. Now let's start right here out of this article from the balance. Now, a vicious circle is different than a vicious cycle, and we're going to explain it here, but this recent article outlines it pretty well. Investors buy homes in record numbers and push up prices. Real estate investors snatched up homes in record numbers this spring, mostly with cash. Now let's pause right there. A lot of these investment firms, real estate investment companies, including hedge funds, many of them are multinational corporations, and many of them get money, business loans at rock bottom interest rates. So they don't even have to go out and get a mortgage. So it's the same as being a cash buyer when you're putting borrowed money against a home. It's not actually a mortgage. In most cases, it's corporate debt that's used to go out and buy these. And again, it's rock bottom interest rates, even lower than people are getting on their mortgage rates nowadays. So investment companies and corporations have the upper hand already. They can borrow money even at cheaper rates versus what you and I can borrow in a mortgage. So of course, they're going to be more aggressive on buying homes even at these high prices, but it doesn't end there. Take a look at the rest of this article. They paid mostly cash, and of course, because they can borrow at rock bottom interest rates, likely outbidding individual home buyers and adding fuel to an already hot market. Now read this next sub headline right here. This creates a vicious circle in which priced out buyers turn to rentals, which are often owned by investors and push the cost of housing still higher. So why is it a circle and not a cycle? Well, a cycle is something that repeats itself over and over again, which you can make the connection with that also. But a vicious circle, and this is a great example, when an investor buys a property and outbids other wannabe buyers, it then pushes those buyers into the rental market because they can't afford to buy a home now because they've been outbid. Corporations and investors have outbid many wannabe home buyers. So now they're forced to rent. What does that do? It pushes the cost of rents higher because now you have more demand for rental homes from all the people and family that can't afford to buy a home. So then the investors that bought these homes out from under these people or outbid these people, they turn around and rent these same homes back to the same people that they outbid, and now they can raise the rents, you see? So it's a vicious circle. They're basically helping themselves, but then it's a multiplier effect. So now these firms can raise the rents because home prices are going higher because people can't afford them because they're outbidding people for these homes. And now they're making more money in rent, but from the beginning, they've already had the upper hand with rock bottom interest rates, and many companies just taking out corporate debt to purchase these homes. And again, this happened in record numbers here in the last quarter. Investors bought 67,943 homes in the US in the second quarter of 2021. That's up over 15% just from the first quarter, and the highest number since real estate broker Redfin began collecting the data all the way back to the year 2000. Right? So this blows past any housing bubble numbers. Investors spent $48.5 billion on these homes, which included multifamily dwellings, single-family homes, and condos, bidding an average price of $439,600. Right, so think about that. That's about 1 out of every 6 homes that were purchased by investors. And it pushes rents higher, and people that were wondering why rents are going up so fast, well, this is a big part of the reason. And home ownership has been dropping now. It surged When the shutdown began there in March 2020, we saw people leaving the cities, rushing out to buy homes, and we see this big surge. For those of you watching on video format, you'll see the big surge in the second quarter of 2020, where home ownership in the US jumped up to about 67.9%, right? So almost 68%. But what have we seen since then? We've seen a drop, and this was just updated 2 days ago on July 27th. July 27th. Home ownership is now dropping again. Why? Because people are getting outbid by investors. So therefore, more people are pushed into having to rent a home. And we've talked about in previous reports here how Blackstone and BlackRock and companies like that are scooping up single-family homes, sometimes buying up whole neighborhoods. All right, but let's zoom in on this chart here, the home ownership rate. We see it did drop here from fourth quarter 2020, dropped again first quarter 2021, and just most recent report here, second quarter 2021 dropped again. Now we're down to about 65.4%. So people, let me know, is this right? And if it is right, where does it end? What if institutions and companies come in and buy half of the homes? What if they buy 75% of the homes? And then turn around and double and triple the rent. I mean, where does it end? If we're going to allow investors like this and companies to come in and buy homes, is there a limit? Can it be unlimited? Ultimately, will companies and corporations own all the homes? Is that the end game here? Right? I don't think anybody knows for sure, but I do know that a lot of the rich are getting richer, and this is part of the wealth gap and the wealth transfer that we see. Right? The companies and investors with access to rock bottom interest rates and borrowing money, and they can leverage themselves. It's a no-lose situation. You're getting the money at rock bottom interest rates, and you could leverage yourself so you can go into debt to make these purchases, but still come in as a cash buyer and outbid people that have to rely on mortgages, and even people that are bidding on homes with cash simply cannot outbid the powerful companies that have endless liquidity. So this is where we're at, and this is where it's going to stay because nothing is being done to change this. There's no laws being passed to stop this from happening. So why would it stop happening? All right, these companies, these investment houses, they come in and they buy up these homes, and now they can rent them out for even higher because the same people now have to rent back from them. Is it fair? Is it not fair? Where does it end? You let me know. But we do know that it's going to cause more inflation, more rising rents. More people are going to have to depend on payouts and stimulus checks and forgiveness plans. More people begging for forgiveness, not to get their home taken, not to get kicked out of their home when rents again continue to surge beyond what people's budgets can pay for. And we know that wages are not being increased enough to, not even close to being keeping up with this situation right now. So buckle up, folks. It's going to get crazier, and we told you this was going to happen. So continue to prepare, keep stacking. Everybody stay well. Bye for now. Peace.